Welcome back to the GinJoe Show. I'm GinJoe, and tonight we will review the latest edition of Gin Lane 1751 Violet. Right here, right now. Let's get into this. GinJoe. So my old frenemy Gin Lane 1751 has put out another edition. Already we've reviewed their flagship, their Old Tom. We reviewed their Royal Strength Gin that comes in at a mere 47%, nothing close to the actual Navy strength. That, of course, comes in at 57%. And we also tasted and reviewed their pink style of gin. Now, when I began this channel back in Middle Tennessee, I had their Royal Strength, and I remember thinking how strong it was. Of course, though, my gin tolerance was young, naive, and I was curious about stronger gins. You know, with the lore of how the British Navy would soak some gunpowder in the gin barrels on board, if it lit still after being submerged, well, then you knew the gin was at 57%, and thus Navy strength was coined. So the company was started by an American who had a healthy appetite for gin and started Gin Lane 1751. 1751 was created in partnership between 8th generation distiller Mr. Charles Maxwell of Venice Distillers in London, England, and the Bloomsbury Club, a group of gin lovers and drinks industry professionals. I like to get in that club. So I've had some great comments with the other gins reviewed here, mostly for the disdain of the company and the product. It didn't help that the Old Tom had bits of sediment floating with it. This Gin Lane, now can you see those particles floating around in there? Yeah, I don't dig that at all. So sediment floating within it, but if you know me, you know why I must review their Violet edition. So what do we know? Gin Lane 1751 Violet's coming in at a mere 40%. Their botanicals are the same as their flagship. We have cassia, angelica, Sicilian lemon, coriander, orris root, Seville orange, juniper of course, and star anise. Now it states with natural violet flavor added. Here's the bottle. It looks exactly like all the other ones. It's just in a violet pattern. So, shall we open it up? We can. Oh, look at that. Okay, before I do this though, I just got a very late Christmas present from my sister Holly, who I love so much. She got me these amazing gin glasses. It's a 2-set, but of course, you know, no one else is here right now, so we'll be using this one tonight. So first let's pop it. Ready? I'm ready. I think. Maybe I'm not. It's kind of weird. Oh, there it goes. Yeah. Natural cork, I remember that. Gotta love that. Look at the bloom. Beautiful. Ooh, violet, nice and strong in the lead. Juniper definitely there. It's definitely alcohol though. It has a nice smell, and there's no sediment drifting around. Score. Ooh, it's very nice though on the violet. It's not like imitation. Remember that gum you would get way back? They probably still make it. I don't know. But it was violet flavored gum. I remember that. It was not that great, but that does not taste or smell like this. This smells like it's actual flower. I'm gonna try it. Let's see what happens. Bottoms up. So. Well, the floralness is definitely up front, which is not a bad thing. I could definitely see this in a gin and tonic or an aviation. It's definitely among those. The bite is nice. The burn is pretty sweet. Actually, this one tastes, I gotta say, way better than the other ones that I've already reviewed. And I know that's weird because this is like kind of a novelty. Like you're trying to make like the aviation cocktail, just the gin, so you don't have to get the liqueur, the violet liqueur. I understand why they're doing this. I think they missed their mark, though. I think they should have done that maybe 2 years ago when the Aviation was like in high demand, especially trending everywhere. But that's not to say they didn't make it 2 years ago. I'm not really sure. There's another one out there that's floating around. I haven't tried it. It's a watermelon gin. And some of you know how much I love watermelon, you know. So we'll have to find that. But this one here, let me just tell you this, all right? The botanicals for the gin are definitely there. I definitely taste juniper and cassia, angelica, even though the earthy tones. But the flowery violet is just right up front. But it's not in a bad way. It's not stifling. It's just kind of mixing well. Alright, so I decided just to do a gin and tonic, a standard test with Fever Tree. So we're going to do our normal measurements here. About 2.5 ounces of the gin. To 2 tonic. Now, this is kind of cool. I'm sure a lot of you out there know about the many different citrus varieties that are out there in the world. The crossbred lemons and limes and tangelos and oranges and grapefruits and pomelos. Well, down here in Florida, sometimes we get really lucky in the wintertime and we get ugly fruit. On the screen is an actual ugly fruit, and this is a piece of ugly fruit. If you've never had ugly fruit before, well, it's a beautiful combination of grapefruit, orange, lime, and lemon. It's almost like Five Alive sports drink, if you remember that back in the 80s. I'm sure some of you do. It's exactly that taste, and it's beautiful for stuff like this. And the whole fruit itself is only $0.25. Can't beat that. Now, that looks nice. Thank you, Holly. Salud. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's very nice. The tonic is definitely opening up more of the juniper aspect. The bitterness, now it's kind of entwined with the sweetness of the citrus, but the violet flower flavor is definitely up front still, which, like I said before in the only gin review, which is very, very floral heavy, or the Midnight Summer Solstice by Hendrix, that's a very, very floral heavy gin. Also Flower City gin. I'm just throwing out a lot of floral gins here. This is definitely up to par with those. So if you've had those gins, you kind of know where you're at with this. Now, if you're someone who does not partake in gin, well, shame on you, and shame on you for watching this video, but I'll let it go this one time. And you see a bottle of this out there, and you think, whoa, it's a cool color. Let's see what I could do with it. I think you're going to like it. I think you're going to like it just in basic applications. I think drinking it neat or on the rocks is a good way too. Actually, from all the ones that I reviewed in the past, this is probably my favorite one, which is kind of surprising, I know. But if you see it out there, it's especially out in Total Wines, and it's going for about $38. I know it's a little high, especially, it just came out, but most of their gins go for about $28 to $32, so you get what you pay for, especially. But I'd say if you find this one for about that price, $32 to $38, you should get it. Wait a little bit till it goes down, if you have to try it, which I know you do. Cheers. Well, here we are. The second review of 2023. Thank you so much. Coming back, have another cocktail, another gin, a little story, a little folklore and all that. And we'll continue to do what we do best. Open bottles, tasting, reviewing, sampling, sharing. And you guys, share back your comments and everything. I love reading them. I love answering them. Forgive me if I don't get to every single one of them, which, I usually do. But once in a while, there's one that slips by, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to feel bad about that. So I'm sorry in advance. It's not going to happen, but just in case. So from me to you to me, to everyone else here in the middle of the States, from sea to shining sea, thanks so much. Coming on back, have another cocktail with me, the GinJoe, doing gin reviews the only way I know how, on my channel, GinJoe Show, where where we do gin reviews, and that's what we do. We know what we're doing. Until the next one, Angela, Kitty says goodbye, good night, and you bastards. Oh, I told him.
Thank you for watching Joe Drink Gin. Please subscribe. Joe loves his gin. Come back for more reviews. You bastards.
Hey, you made it. And just because you did, I'm going to throw a little Gin Lane Beer Alley information right now, just for you. Cheers.
Are you still here? That's it, the review is over. Subscribe. Go home.